All right. I'm assuming that you could see it, and that you can hear me well. But um, as Kevin shared, I will be starting with a little bit about myself. But just to start, obviously, we're going to talk about AI and the future of the workforce. So let me see here. Great. So a little bit about me. Obviously, good morning, everyone. My name is Olivia, and as you can see here, I generated an own AI version of myself just to be on topic. And no, hopefully AI is not coming for my job yet. I have 10 plus years of experience within the organizational development workforce. I was in talent acquisition, still am kind of. I do human capital strategy. I am a very big AI enthusiast, and my focus is basically on legal and tech. I'm not sure if you could access the poll, but I wanted to understand a quick show of hands if anyone today and this morning has used ChatGPT, Midjourney, or any type of AI this week. Any voting would be helpful. Just click on here. I mean, really, I did help or managed to seek for AI's help in our lecture or my sharing today. But yeah, AI is in our workforce and we should be excited. I'm not sure if we should be scared and maybe potentially polishing our LinkedIn bios. I don't know. But the future is with AI, and I am very excited to tap into that. With regards to where I've worked, I mean, I saw a few folks already looking into my LinkedIn. I currently work with Gartner. I used to work for Shell Oil and Gas since we're all in Alberta. And then obviously, not sure if you're familiar, but BDO Canada. So yeah, perfect. All right, a quick agenda for today, right? Like I wanted to discuss the why about AI. Where is it headed? Obviously, what the future of work entails, any ethics and challenges related to it. How do we stay relevant? And I'll leave some time at the end of the call to have some questions and answers. Um, Obviously, today isn't about doom and gloom. It's about understanding the shift, riding the wave, and how do we skill up, right? Perfect. Okay, so what is AI? Obviously, AI stands for artificial intelligence, right? But it is essentially a pattern recognition on steroids. It learns from data and it applies what it learns to solve problems, often much faster than us humans can. So let's break it down a little bit further. There's, narrow AI and general AI. Narrow AI is where we are right now. Think about Siri, Netflix recommendations, that Spotify DJ playlist, Chat GPT. These are great at one thing, but that's the only kind of thing that they are great at, right? The algorithms. This is why we see that on Instagram, and why we feel scared that sometimes we feel that we're being heard. And then we have general AI. This is, the sci-fi stuff, robots that can do everything that a human can do. Kevin, your professor, we watched Megan. That is a movie. I'm not sure if y'all are, familiar about that movie, but that is the general AI. Megan is a prime example of general AI. We're not there yet, but hopefully not soon too. So the bottom line is AI is not magic. It's just very smart math powered by data and decide to help us work smarter and not harder. Right. So that is the what. I want to focus on the why. Why is it important? Because one, it's already here, right? You are already using AI. I'm hoping you do, even if you don't realize it, right? Think Spotify recommending your playlist again, Gmail finishing your sentences, iMessages doing the same thing. Um, it's really how we partner with it, right? Why is it here? It boosts efficiency. AI doesn't sleep, not like we do. It doesn't get bored. It automates repetitive tasks, processes, massive data sets, and gives you insights in seconds, right? So if you embrace AI, you get back time to focus on the things that you enjoy, right? You want to be creative. You want to do strategic planning. You want to lead people. So definitely it gives you time to do that. Um, New skills equals new power. Adapting to AI isn't just about survival, it's about evolution. Roles are changing. Some tasks will definitely vanish. So others will really emerge, right? So if you learn AI tools or at least understand how it works, you stay valuable in the market, right? Post graduation, you'll stay valuable. Um, Another reason why it's important, AI is being used in hiring, forecasting, customer engagement. It is everywhere. So it shapes decision making, right? The career power is, or sorry, like that's career power right there. Like if you know and learn how to use it and adapt to it, you have competitive advantage, right? AI moves faster. They think better. They deliver more. But whether it's in your career, business, or studies, being AI literate gives you an edge, right? It's like using a calculator when we were younger. It only what do you call this? Only this one predicts your budget, right? It books your meetings. It really automates a lot of tasks. So the goal isn't to become a robot. The goal is to partner with the tools to make us better humans at work, right? So you won't be replaced by AI. You'll be replaced by someone who knows how to use AI. So the time is really now. On to the next, right? So future workforce by 2026, and Kevin shared with me that you use Gartner research. So by 2026, over 50% of enterprises will use AI-powered tools to augment their workforce. What does that mean? Right? So AI is definitely here already. It isn't something that's coming. So we're not talking about humans replaced again. We're talking about being augmented. So AI takes care of the repetitive tasks. Human beings bring critical thinking, creativity, and empathy. So empathy is extremely important. Your emotional intelligence is extremely important. The future belongs to people who could collaborate with technology. So Gartner works with efficiencies, right? My everyday task is to identify the waste in workflow and processes. So we want to deliver actionable insights with the use of data. And AI helps us collect that data, right? Like we want to identify the bottlenecks in an organization's workflow to prioritize and reduce the time spent on unproductive tasks. So we work hand in hand with that. Hopefully that's clear. And there's no questions so far. All right, great. Perfect. Oops. So future of the workforce, right? So let's break it down. Yes, AI is replacing jobs, some jobs, right? Mostly the ones that are, again, I will be repetitive, the ones that are repetitive, rules-based, and easy to automate. Think, again, data entry, basic customer service, routine scheduling. These are often task-heavy jobs, not decision-making ones. But no, it's not stealing jobs, it's just reshaping them. Okay? For every job it automates, it's also creating new ones, right? Like AI trainers, prompt engineers, ethics officers, automation strategists, human AI collaboration specialists. And so recruiting, not so much. Scheduling, chatbots, resume screening, yes. Forecasting is there, decision support, diagnostics, forecasting, etc. Oh, I didn't realize I put two forecastings in there. But here's the big idea. AI is not replacing it. It's like jobs. It's replacing tasks. Okay. Most jobs are a mix of repeatable tasks and human skills. So the admin work, AI takes the boring stuff off your plate so you can focus again on that strategic plan, the empathetic tasks, right? And leadership. So jobs will definitely change. Some will disappear, some will evolve, and we need to adapt. They won't be replaced. The ones that know how to adapt will be promoted, right? So, a few things in terms of the future of the workforce and where you see AI. I'll start with my bread and butter, right? Recruitment and HR. Think resume screening, as I placed here, chatbots for candidate questions, predictive analytics for employee attrition, right? These are things that we use now. AI helps us, talent acquisition people find the right people faster and even flags when someone might be about to quit. So it helps with retention, right? And attrition. In marketing and sales, I'm not sure where you guys will go after graduation. Algorithms are writing product descriptions, running A/B testing, scoring leads, and even customizing your email. So those promotional emails, the campaign that you open today, I'm pretty sure that's partially AI generated, right? Customer service, chatbots, again, virtual assistants, and support ticket automation. They handle the common questions. So 24/7, human agents can focus on more complex problems. So the ones that are more so tier two, tier three related, right? In healthcare, we are definitely in there. From AI assisted diagnostics, right, to scheduling surgeries and personalizing treatment plans, AI is here, literally saving lives one day at a time. But obviously, we're not replacing the doctors. It's definitely a people skill, so that is going to always be there. Finance and fraud detection, right? AI monitors transactions in real time to detect suspicious behavior. So the ones that are texting you, right, or emailing you, it also automates reports, risk analysis, investment predictions. There's a lot that you could use in AI in terms of finance and financial literacy, and I highly suggest that you kind of explore that. Um, what other areas like logistics and supply chain? Another big thing within Gartner, AI helps companies predict inventory needs, reroute shipments, and optimize delivery routes, right? So it's the reason your same day delivery actually happens. So let's thank AI for that. In education and training, I recently graduated from my postgraduate program in U of T or University of Toronto, right? Like adaptive learning platforms are being used to adjust how we incorporate AI, how fast or slow someone learns, right? So AI, what my professors have told me, is also helping grade our essays too, right? So it's highly incorporated in both parties from students to professors, right? Well, what I learned was project management and operations. So tools use machine learning to forecast delays, recommend tasks, prioritization, and automate status reports. So it helps a lot. Obviously, Gantt charts are still very much manual, but there's a lot of smart tools that are AI incorporated, and it really helped us in terms of being a punctual project teammate. So there's a lot. Um, to summarize, jobs most are at risk are the ones that are in data entry, basic customer service, low-level analysis, etc. Jobs that are in demand are something related to AI, data scientists, cybersecurity, soft skill heavy related roles. So HR is definitely there. Um, in terms of skills that are really needed to adapt to it, obviously adaptability is there, curiosity, digital literacy, and most especially critical thinking. Basically everything that our mom told us to develop and we ignored it before and until now it is really, really required. So yeah, that is the future of the workforce. Obviously, another Gartner research, right? By 2027, 75% of employees will need to acquire new skills to remain employable due to AI and automation. So again, these new skills are really soft skill related. So how do we future proof ourselves? I'm not sure if we're allowed to open the chat or whatnot, but I wanted to test a little bit on the engagement, right? But I'll just share it with you. These are some examples of high risk and low risk roles. Data entry clerks, obviously, it is high risk. Low risk, I'm specifically talking about a kindergarten teacher. Why? AI would never be able to deal with kids, the tantrums, right? Like those crazy parents. There's a lot that a kindergarten teacher would need to kind of emotionally juggle. And so that's kind of there. Telemarketers, very high risk, right? Therapists, someone to speak to, really someone that could understand you from an emotional standpoint, very low risk. Cashiers, we see it nowadays, right? Like you have yourself, self checkout lanes, and then obviously a low risk person would be a project manager. Project manager is right there to juggle multiple different people, to engage with them, to lead them, etc. So how do we future proof our skills or ourselves, right? Again, the soft skills, adaptability. The only thing constant is change. Learn how to learn. Embrace ambiguity, right? Stay open to new tools, workflows, and challenges. This is a big challenge right now in a lot of organizations that I see. Change management is lacking because they're scared to use AI. They're so stuck on the status quo, especially in big organizations, that change management and transitions are so hard, or it's taking them time to adapt, and that's fine, but it is critical and it needs to happen fast, right? Because again, AI is working faster. um Second, I guess, skill to future proof ourselves. Critical thinking and problem solving. AI gives you answers, but you still need the right questions to ask them, right? You want to challenge them. You want to analyze complex information. You don't want to believe everything that Chat GPT spits out. You want to challenge those assumptions and make sound decisions based on some of the data that it is being shared to you, right? Your EQ, number three. EQ is so big: emotional intelligence, empathy, active listening, self-awareness, all 100% human. So these are crucial for leadership, collaboration, and really navigating workplace dynamics. AI will never be able to replace that. And so, really honing on that skill set, maybe trying to read a book for active listening. I know it's not really connected, but the attention span is that TikTok and Instagram is giving us really might not work to your advantage. So try sitting with your own thoughts, reading a physical book, practice active listening and being present in the moment, because that adds to your EQ. Creativity. I know they are heavily impacted right now. AI can remix, but you invent. It still comes from your brain. You still produce the prompt. You still produce everything that it would produce for you. Whether it's content, design, or strategy, right? Original thinking gives you the edge. Um, Communication and storytelling, what I'm doing right now, right? Can I translate data into meaning? Can you persuade? How do you persuade, right? How do you influence people? Can you inspire? Clear, compelling communication is a human superpower, and AI still can't match that. Yes, there's up and coming podcast AI tools that are kind of scary, but again, we're injecting the data in there. Digital literacy. You don't need to code. Honestly, I mean, unless you want to, unless you really enjoy that, but you need to understand how AI tools work and how to use them responsibly, right? Collaboration and cross-functional teaming. In project management, in a corporate world, this is extremely important. AI doesn't work in silos. Neither should you. So work well across departments, build those relationships, understand cultures and tools. That's how ideas escalate, or sorry, scale, not escalate. Um, Lastly, to pivot to my next topic, which is the ethics and challenges, right? You also need ethical judgment and integrity. We'll need people who can question, should we, right? Not just the can we do it? Should we even do it? AI raises so many ethical dilemmas, and human oversight is really vital. So, the best way to future proof yourself is to stop fearing AI and start, kind of flirting with it. Learn how it works, use it, be the human who gets the robot. Because again, at the end of the day, AI doesn't have empathy, it doesn't have teamwork or even humor, right? That's all you. So make sure that you retain that. Oops. All right. So ethics and challenges. 60% of organizations will implement AI governance frameworks by 2026. So we have a year. So ensure that it is ethically used. Again, quoting Gartner. Translation, we're teaching, maybe the translation of that or a quick analogy is we're building the plane and we're flying it, but we're also now using a seatbelt, finally. Let's talk about bias. AI is only as smart or as shady as the data that it's fed. So garbage in, garbage out, right? AI is now reading resumes. This is a fun fact. I think I've shared with you earlier. It's reading resumes faster than us humans, right? But it could also ghost you faster. So ethical issues, the AI bias is number one, right? Gender, racial discrimination in hiring, we've experienced this a lot. So AI learns from historical data. And that data often reflects societal inequalities, right? So if past hiring, for example, favored men for tech roles or penalized women, for example, for taking career breaks like maternity leaves or whatnot, AI might learn to do the same. So there is a lot of bias. A recent example that I could give you is Amazon scrapped its AI recruiting tool after it penalized resumes with the word women. So it really was a shady concern and also a subject. I'm not sure, but read the news. It's there. And yeah, that was scrapped off completely. Even if gender isn't explicitly used, AI can infer from things like names, right? Schools attended or activity gaps. So this leads to indirect discrimination, even if it's technically unintentional, right? There's also lack of transparency. That's number two. How did it make that decision? Right? Many AI systems, especially those using deep learning, don't easily explain how they arrive to decisions. So that creates really a major problem when trying to audit or defend outcomes. So, like why someone did get the offer or maybe a loan from the bank. So that really is a transparency issue, right? Data privacy and consent. This is very, very important. Just because we can collect it doesn't mean we should. So, going back to my previous point, the can we versus should we dilemma, right? AI systems thrive on data, employee data, behavioral data, candidate data, right? So without clear consent and secure handling, this raises really a huge privacy issue and concern and risks of violating data protection laws, right? So there are big examples. GDPR and Canada's AI and Data Act are pushing companies to be more transparent about how AI makes decisions. Because again, we are not yet regulating a lot of that. It's like cryptocurrency. It's definitely still there's a lot of gray area and loopholes that we could find. So now it's pushing more governance frameworks again. As we go and move forward with it. Lastly, dehumanization of decision making. Efficiency at the cost of empathy, right? So again, when AI is used in hiring, for example, promotions or layoffs, there's a risk of removing the human element empathy, context, nuance that can lead to cold, one size fits all kind of outcomes. That is very painful, right? And a broken trust between employees and leadership could definitely lead to a lot of different things. So it is very, very scary. All right. So approaching the end, right? Like impact and staying relevant, AI literacy and organizational what you call this readiness. Teams need to really understand what AI can and cannot do. AI literacy helps reduce fear, build trust, and foster adoption, right? Say, for example, non-technical teams in companies like, say, Deloitte and PwC that we work with now undergo AI fluency training, right? We need to learn with it. Leaders are being trained to interpret AI output, not just delegate decisions to it, right? So AI is a team sport. Everyone needs basic fluency to collaborate effectively. New roles and emerging jobs, right? Like again, AI is killing some jobs, but it is definitely replacing and really what do you call this? Elevating a lot of it, right? So example of roles that don't exist 5 years ago, a prompt engineer. Like what was that? A prompt engineer now designs questions and inputs to get optimal results for generative AI tools, right? There is an AI ethicist. They ensure like AI systems are fair, unbiased, and transparent. But again, it's still we're still learning with it, right? A data curator. They manage training data to ensure high quality and representative of ChatGPT or that AI tool. We have human AI interaction designers, improves how humans engage with AI interfaces. That's where I'm leading to right now, right? Like that is where I want to go. So future proofing isn't about one job title. It's about becoming adaptable again and aware of where tech is headed, right? So number three, organizational change and culture shift. So this is so important. We are dealing with this every day. I shared that example to you earlier, right? It changes the dynamics of like the organization. Trust, communication, hierarchy, it's being changed day in and day out in the corporate world. When AI is introduced, there's often confusion about roles. Again, fear, resistance to automation, and shifts in power. So, for example, junior staff lose entry level tasks, right? Making it harder to learn by doing or that hands on training. Managers, I've seen this, resist AI tools that seem to replace their judgment. Again, it's not replacing their judgment. They need that judgment. And making them understand is key to helping them adapt. Workflow change as AI becomes a third colleague in meetings, analysis, and feedback. This is real time. Change management must be prioritized when rolling out AI. That is our main recommendation, and Gartner really helps organizations do that. Number five, global impact and inequities, right? AI can bridge gaps or widen them depending on the access. So, um, an example is in Kenya, right? AI is being piloted to support rural healthcare, but infrastructure limits its reach. So again, like that's the gain and loss problem. Wealthier companies, large tech companies use AI for performance tracking, while smaller ones still rely on manual processes, right? There's still that shift. Equity in AI adoption should be intentional, right? Because global disparities will really, really grow. And lastly, lifelong learning and role of education. Education is still extremely important. So definitely stay in school, right? Um, it can't stop after graduation. Skills now have a half-life. Formal degrees are being supplemented and sometimes replaced. It is scary by micro credentials, boot camps, and experience-based learning, right? But that's okay. So, for example, big tech companies, Google, Microsoft, they offer certificates in data and AI that employers are beginning to accept alongside degrees. Okay. Online platforms like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, edX are expanding access to AI learning, right? So to remain relevant, you have to embrace continuous learning and be a student for life. And the organizations that you join in the future, you have to look for that. How do they support further education, right? So that's that. Oops, there you go. All right. So one last piece. Let me tell you about a story. This is a real story for one of our clients, EY. I'm pretty sure you all have heard about EY. I work in strategy, so my story will relate to HR, right? And basically, their HR department is sort of drowning. The recruiters overwhelmed, hundreds of resumes. They're part of the big four. It is poured in every role. Interview scheduling. Do you know how hard it is to reach to managing partners and hiring managers? It was a full-time job. Exit surveys, right? Sat unopened. Exit surveys are the ones that you do when you leave a company. They have high attrition. So they sat unopened and nobody had time to actually focus on the people, the employees. Employee morale was down. And HR, we kind of focus on people. It's an HR thing. So they really needed to focus on that. So after millions of meetings, no big announcement, no dramatic music, collaboration intact, there was a quiet rollout for an AI-powered recruitment and HR tool for them, right? And everything started to change. Resume mountains disappeared. The AI scanned every application, obviously, with keywords. We call it an applicant tracking system. It scanned for tone, soft skills, and sometimes cultural fit, but we kind of alleviated that. Instead of a person sifting through 600 PDFs, the recruiters now had ranked short lists of under 20 candidates in 20 minutes, right? So it is really, really helping with the chaos. AI synced everyone's calendar so that interview scheduling disparity, it was easily solved. It auto-suggested interview times, sent friendly nudges to hiring managers, which is again very manual in the past. Recruiters there were not chasing people anymore, right? The system did it for them. AI then also started analyzing or helping analyze exit interviews. What was the common reason for disengagement, right? It flagged in the future the rising burnout. It caught early signs of management issues, right? And it even noticed trends like um, some departments feeling invisible, not being heard, right? So HR wasn't guessing anymore. They had insight, right? In real time. And so going back to Gartner's value proposition, we deliver actionable insights with the use of data, right? So we partnered with what we have been collected. Learning and development, or L&D, even they leveled up, right? AI created personalized learning journeys. Say, for example, Tom in IT was not getting the same training anymore as Jasmine did in marketing, right? They got what they needed when they needed it. And suddenly now HR is not a back office admin function anymore. They were sitting back in the strategy table and with data insights, no one questioned because they were definitely providing that dashboard in real time. The chaos calmed down and HR got to be human centric again. They focused on rewards and recognition, employee morale, etc. But AI never replaced humans and HR. They helped to unlock the best version of it. The main kind of win here as well is Dan Black Dan Black is their CHRO. He was a new executive during that time. He built and presented fully structured and meaningful talent strategies to the EY's board of directors within a few months in his new role, right? So he also elevated HR's voice in the C-suite conversations with Gartner data to highlight HR's business impact and drive future successes with AI. So it was really a fun time overall. All right. Lastly, key takeaways, right? AI won't replace you, okay? Future of work isn't AI versus humans, it's AI with humans. So this is my kind of parting words. Preferably the ones who show up, learn fast, and don't use Comic Sans. Sorry, I really hate that font. Um, so AI won't replace you, but someone who uses it might. The future of the workforce isn't something humans versus machines. It is about humans augmented by AI. So learning how to work alongside AI is really what sets professional people apart. In ethics and equity, it must evolve with innovation, right? AI is powerful, but it is not neutral. Without intentional design and governance, it can scale bias, exclusion, and inequality. So, responsible AI isn't optional. Again, in 2026, more governance frameworks because it is foundational. It needs to be there and regulated. And lastly, again, lifelong learning is really critical. In an AI driven world, your degree gets you in the door, right? You know this already. AI gets you, oh, sorry, your degree gets you in the door. But curiosity and adaptability keep you in that room. The most future proof skill is a mindset that never stops learning. Take it from us, me and Kevin. We are immigrants by default, right? And so we all collectively, right, really work twice as hard to get some voice and really deliver what we can deliver in a room due to us being lifelong learners, right? We strive to be relevant and have that mindset that never stops learning. Okay, so hopefully you do the same. The future of work is not AI versus humans again. And this is a Gartner quote. It is AI with humans. So, yeah, that's about it. I will leave, for questions and answers. You could connect with me on LinkedIn, but I would also stop sharing.